Hey everybody, it's your girl Shaw, the Super Chick. Guess what day it is? That's right, it's Hump Day. I hope you all are winding down to your favorite beverage. Make sure that you are all the way relaxed. Make sure there's nothing else in your mind that's going to consume this wind down. I'm going to give you all just a few minutes. Make sure you get all the way relaxed. Now, I know that we have a wine of the hour. I hope that you guys have your favorite beverage. Make sure that you're dropping those beverages in the link. Make sure that you are following the show on all the platforms that may be available to you, which are Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and there are a few other platforms, but all you have to do is Google Evening Wind Down with Shar, or just hashtag Shar the Super Chick. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. It is such an emotional time for a lot of us right now. A lot of times we deal with things, and in our minds we're kind of like, why me? Why am I in this situation at this time? What have I done so bad that I would be dealing with some of the stuff that I'm dealing with? And sometimes you just got to go all the way back and ask yourself, am I the best person that I can be? Have I righted all my wrongs? Have I done things to somebody that may be coming back to me? You know, those are the things that pop up in our head as soon as we're placed in a position that may not be comfortable to us, that may have us feeling some type of way. We go to doubting ourselves, question ourselves. What have I done? What can I do to be a better person? Well, I want to start out by saying trouble comes in when you least expect it. If you knew every time trouble was going to come in, you'd be prepared, right? But unfortunately, we don't know. We never know until boom. Now this has happened to me. What am I going to do? How can I get the strength to be back in the position where I need to be? First mindset is we get depressed. We don't want to talk to nobody. We don't want to see nobody. We don't want to go nowhere. We don't even want to go to work because our mind is so wrapped up in what we have going on that nothing else even matters. That's the first thing that we do as human beings. It's just human nature. Anger sets in. First thing. Then after the anger, sometimes reality sinks in. Now we need to face the reality that this is where we're at. This is what we're going through. How do we fix it? Right? Can I get the strength to hold on until it gets fixed? One thing I have learned that I am my biggest critic. I am my biggest, and it's so weird because sometimes I feel like I'm psychic. Like I can sense that something odd is going to happen before it happens. And then it happens and I'm like, oh my God, like I knew that was going to happen. And it's just so weird, but I am my biggest critic when it comes to getting out of a situation, when it comes to when I'm in a good place, staying there, because so much, it seems like, you know, so much bad happens, or not even that. It's just like you're doing good all of a sudden, then boom, boom, boom. And they say things come in threes. And then it's like, oh, my car broke down. Right after that, oh, I just got fired. Right after that, oh, somebody in my family is going through something. Or, you know, it's always that doubt of how am I going to get out of this? I'm my biggest critic. And I sit back and, I think about it and I'm like, how in the world am I going to get out of this situation? But in the end, my faith kicks in, right? And I hate that it takes so long for my faith to kick in, but it does. Because after I face the reality of this is where I'm at right now, this is what's going on right now. Now I need to have faith. And now I need to know that God didn't bring me this far to keep me mute or keep me in the situation or to even take away what he has given me. So now my faith is kicking in. I say that because I'm speaking to anybody that may be in the position right now that you just don't know how you got in that position or what you're going to do to get out of that position. Damn. What am I going to do? Now is the time for your faith to kick in. Now is the time for you to say, God did not bring me this far or give me this to take it away from me. But we know that nothing is going to be easy moving forward in our life. Even if you get comfortable and things are like, I was just thinking the other day, like, wow, my life is finally normal. Like I'm finally in a normal position in life that things kind of feel weird because you're so used to stuff being erratic or being all over the place. You may have had a lot of years dealing with your children. You may have been in bad relationships for so many years that, or even the worst job in your life, and your finances may not have been where you wanted them to be. And now things are normal and it feels weird. And then that sense of something bad gonna happen comes in because we let it. The negativity sinks in. We gotta stop allowing the negativity of our past to come into our future, come into our now. And we have to know that where I am now, I'm going to stay, or I'm only going to move forward, which means that I'm going to do what I have to do to keep the position that I am in life and stay moving forward, regardless of what may be going on right now, regardless of what may have happened yesterday. And I had to talk, because I deal with consumers on a daily basis. People, I become friends with people on a daily basis. And sometimes I listen to the stories and I always say, God is going to bless you. I'm always positive. And I'm not even seeing these people before in my life, first time talking to them. And I just have to say, you can't worry about yesterday. Yesterday's gone. What we have to think about is where we are now and pray for a better tomorrow. We can't change yesterday. We can't go back in time for yesterday. So why are we living in yesterday's past as if, hey, I got this situation and now I'm going to be pushed back into yesterday? What we got to do is focus on being faith-based, having faith, and just knowing that there's always a way out of something. And so no matter what you're going through today or went through yesterday, what you need to know is there's always a positive outcome. And it's like you hear people say, oh my God, I've been in so many bad relationships. I'm never going to date again. First of all, everybody ain't the same. Second of all, sometimes you got to weed through the bad flowers to find that right rose. Not one with thorns, the right one. So you may be at a job that you absolutely don't like anybody there, or the people are rude, or the people are mean. And first mindset is, I'm going to quit. I'm not working here no more. And I say it all the time. You should not stay in a place that you're miserable. But hindsight of that is, sometimes you got to say, okay, I don't like this job. Not even sometimes. This is what you need to say. I'm not happy with this job. I don't like anybody here because people are weird. And I just don't even want to deal with weird people. People are rude. I don't like the job. But what you got to think is, I'm finna get online. I'm finna put some applications in. I'm going to suck it up. This is what I got to do right now. I got to suck it up. I ain't got to deal with them people. I ain't got to see them people. But I need my job. This is what I got to do. I'm going to get online. I'm going to further my career. I'm pretty sure it's some things that you would have been wanting to do at this moment instead of working in this factory or whatever it is. We have to start pursuing our dreams to get us out of that dry situation. I don't want to be in that job. Some things we have no control over. Some things it's out of our control. But we have to still stay focused. We still have to know that there is a better outcome, and everything happens for a reason. A lot of times you think this can't be real. This can't be for me. But think about how many times you were in the worst situation in your life, and now you sit back and you think about that situation and you laugh and you're like, dang, because I know I do. I don't know about y'all, but you know, I'll be 46 with the glory of God in less than 2 weeks, right? I have been through some situations in my life, and I sit back now and I look at those situations and I'm like, how in the world am I even still sane? How in the world do I not have gray hair? And I'm out of that situation. But when I was in that situation, I seen no way out. I didn't know how I was going to survive. I didn't know how I didn't even want to get up. It was times in my life where I didn't want to see people. I just cried all the time. And it was one of those things where you just cry and your emotions are so involved and you're so deep down in this dark place that you can't watch certain stuff on TV. You ever been like that? You're like, I don't want to watch that because it's going to bring back memories or this and that and the third. It's been times like that for me. And then now I think about it and I'm like, I can't believe that. Like, I was so down and out over this situation or stressed out. And then now you think back and you laugh about it. Even jobs that you may have worked at for 10, 11 years and you're like, damn, I hated being there. But look at me now. So that reminds you that you have to still stay positive and you still got to have faith. And you have to know that there is not going to be one successful thing that happens to you without you going through the fire first. So if you're the type of person, you're always getting stuff handed to you, you're not going to appreciate when you are at your standing point, your peak of your life. Sometimes you'll take granted of that because you didn't have to work hard for it. You know how you meet those people where they were born with money. They were born, with this or that, or everything has been given to them. Their parents have taken care of them for all their young life, adult life. They've never had to really work for anything. Anything they wanted, it was right there at their fingertips. What usually happens? They run through the money. They don't appreciate the things that are given to them. Every time they can't get what they want, they're whining, they're crying. You don't appreciate the hard work that the next person has put in even to help you because it's been handed to you. You don't care that they're taking it out of their bank account. You don't care that, hey, your parents have been taking care of you all this time and they got their own bills. You don't appreciate it because you haven't went through the storm. You know what I'm saying? But once you go through that storm and that fire and you struggle, you go without food, you go without money in your bank account, you go without having a car, you're walking here or there. You're really, really struggling to get to where you are. And when you get to your highest peak and when you get to that point to where you now feel normal, it makes it so much more worth it. And at that time, you couldn't see it like that. You felt like, I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm going through this. I can't believe I'm going through that. I took custody of my brother's children at the worst time in life for me. The worst time. I barely was holding it together for my own family, but it was what needed to happen. And there were times to where you just go get hamburger meat and cheese and Doritos, and you're feeding 7, 8 people. There was times to where you only had $2, $3 and was just like, hey, we're going to go get some bread. We're going to go get some peanut butter. Or we just going to eat breakfast for dinner. Those are hard times to where 5 or 6 of y'all in one room because your power off and you got to take the lamp or the gasoline thing, whatever, you know what I'm saying, to that room. Those are hard times. When you go through hard times like that and you give yourself to other people and you say, I know I don't really have the resources and the finances to be taking on 3, 4 more people, but as a family, this is what we got to do right now. And when you look back and you see the accomplishments and you see things that you may have done for them, that family, even if you're never told thank you, even if you never see the brighter side from them, deep down in your heart, you struggled, you held it down. You may not have had all the things that you needed to have, but you had enough to survive. It makes you appreciate where you are at this time, and times are never going to be perfect. It will for some, a little bit. So I'm not going to say never. Times may never seem perfect to you, is what I should say. But in hindsight, you're waking up. You're able to think. You're able to see. You're able to breathe. You may have to walk to where you get to go, but you got the ability, the mobility to move. Think about that. Think about it. Don't be so quick to count yourself out. But what you have to do is also put in the work and not wait for someone to give you an answer. Because sometimes we'll stick by. Now, I know I'm not the only one that does this. You haven't prayed a day in your life. Or should I say, you ain't went to church, you ain't did tithe, you ain't did nothing. But the moment you get in the bind, the first thing you say is, God, if you give me another chance, I promise God, I'm going to do this. I promise you, Lord, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing that. We do that. And then as soon as you get to where you're going, all this stuff goes out the window. As soon as you see a way, it's out the window. But at that time, you're praying and you're you're counting on the Lord to show you and see, you through this. But in the end, God is already seeing you through, and God is already showing you that I need you to put in some work. I need you to sow your seeds. I need you to believe that I didn't bring you this far. It may take some time. It may not happen overnight. But you got to know that where you are, if it's in a bad position, you're not going to stay there unless you're not putting in the work to get out of that position. But you can't see it. You can't see outside of your box that you may be in, because doubt is the first thing that sinks in our mind. Depending on I don't care where you're from, but depending on what you've been through, of what you've witnessed or what you've seen, you hear some people that has never left their city. You know why? Because your mind is transformed to think that you don't need to do anything else. You hear the doubt. First thing you ask for is, man, let's take a trip, man. I ain't get on no plane. Shit, man. I ain't get on no boat. Nope. If I can't drive it, I ain't going. And then when you say, okay, we can rent a car. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's plan it up, man. Yeah, just let me know when you're ready to go. As soon as you call them, hey, you ready to go on that trip? Oh, man, something came up. I need to wait till I got about $2,000 saved up. How in the hell you gonna save up $2,000 when you ain't even got $100 right now? See what I'm saying? Your mind stops you from moving forward sometimes because of what you've seen or heard, or just your surroundings. If you don't get out of that box, that you can't even see out of that box, you'll never explore life. You'll never see different things. You'll be trapped to thinking it's okay to only live in a one lane. When I first moved to Nashville, because I'm from Benton Harbor, Michigan, right? It's a small town. All the streets are like main streets. You got a couple back streets, but you got like 3 main streets that take you everywhere. So to come from that to moving to Nashville, when you got to pretty much get on the highway just to go to work, you got to get on the highway to go to the store, you want to see your homegirls, you got to get on the highway. That was so hard for me. The first year, it was like, I don't want to go anywhere. It was hard. I was just like homesick. I was so used to just a little bitty neighborhood stores. I was just so used to, running in and out of somewhere, getting right back right at home in 2 minutes. So when you ask a person that's never been taken out of their element to do something different, in their mind, they're like, hell nah. Because it was hard for me. It was hard. But if you don't get out of that little box that you're in, then you'll be stuck there. And it's so much more in life to see than just watching it on TV. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're that person that you just feel like, I want to go, but I don't want to go, you need to go. You need to go. It first starts with having enough courage, right? To do something different with life. Now, I'm not moving away from the situations that some of us are in right now, to where we may be going through a financial hardship. We may be going through something with our loved ones. We may be going through something in our own personal life, and you just can't figure out why me? Why me? Why does this keep happening to me? I've heard people say, why do I keep losing my job? You really got to dig back to yourself and think about, what are you doing at these jobs that you keep losing the jobs? I can't tell you. No one can really tell you, because only you know. And it may be something that you can't see right at this present time, but it's a sit down moment with yourself. Think about everything that you're doing. You may be in a situation to your power is about to be off. You may be behind on your rent, your mortgage. Think about it. Sometimes you have no choice. You may lose your job. You may take a cut at work. You may have had extra bills this month. But I'll tell you, if we focused on us, ourselves, our households sometimes, and put us first. Stop trying to take care of our children, our friends that never pay you back, or just people that come along. No shade. It's all right to help, give a helping hand, but you got to make sure your house is in order before you start giving out handouts. Because at the end of the day, if you're taking care of 3-4 households, you ain't gave your last dollar to somebody that called you and asked for some gas money because they needed to get somewhere. You only had $20, $30 in the bank, but you feel bad. You feel like it's your due diligence to give because you've been asked. Sometimes you got to say no. As a matter of fact, more so than saying yes, you need to say no. Now your bills are behind because last year, what did you do? You gave out a lot of money because you had a lot of money, right? Wasn't expecting this big thing to go down and turn your finances upside down. Now you're reaching out to these folks that you helped. Hey, can you give me a little bit back on what I gave you? Or matter of fact, you ain't even got to do that. Just let me hold some. Nobody has anything. So now you're in a position that you can't even dig yourself out of a hole. Now, I don't want anybody to say or think that what I'm saying is you shouldn't help people. Because if you're in a position to help, you should. But what you can't do is take care of another household. And a lot of times as people, we feel like we should, because they may be, like I said, family members, kids, best friends, co-workers that I'm close with. They down and out, they in need. What you got to do is make sure your household is together, right? And a lot of times we don't do that, not even when our mental status. We feel so guilty when people put stuff on us. You don't never do this for me. You need to do this for me. You need to do that for me. XYZ. We feel so guilty that now my mind is all over the place. I'm feeling guilty as hell. I'm not even caring about me no more because I'm so focused and worried about you or what you may have going on. No, we have to stop doing that. But another thing that we got to stop doing is letting people take us down through there. The old me, if you call me and argue with me, I'm going to argue with you, I'm going to curse you out, I'm going to do all the new me. And I've been this way for a while. I'm really proud of me, y'all. And I'm being real serious, right? Maybe it has something to do with age. The new me, I'm cutting folks off. I am making sure that I'm straight, my household's straight, my finances need to be at a certain level, as long as it's in my power and my will. Now, sometimes you got to tap into that savings and drain it out. But it's up to you to put it back. Which means that you can't be giving out stuff. You call me, you argue with me, boy, I'll cuss you down. I'll be ready to jump in my car. I'm from BH. I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm about it. I'm rolling in the car. I'm all excited. I'm on the phone. I'm calling people, telling people what I'm about to run and do, what I'm about to go do. The new me. You curse me. All right. I may cuss you out, but I ain't going to argue with you. Understand me? Now, I ain't going to lie and say I ain't going to cuss you. I ain't going to do that one. But I'm totally different. I'm totally different than what I used to be. I'm not going to waste no more energy on people. You know what I'm saying? My blood pressure's bad. I'm going to sleep all kind of jacked up. I'm going to pray for you. But I'm also going to cut you off. You say I don't do nothing for you? Cool. We can make it a reality. I'm not going to be a passive pushover. You can't talk bad to me one day and think 2 days can go by and we good and we Gucci. No. This is the new me. I got to take care of me. I got to make sure my health is in order. I got to make sure my mental status is in order. Because at the end of the day, I only got one life to live and it's mine. I found out my friends talking bad about me. I ain't finna call you and confront you. Who got time for that? I'm over 40. But what I do know how to do is pay attention and see things for myself. And once I see things for myself, I know how to handle accordingly. I ain't got time for you. It's sad. You know, that friend thing can take you down through that because you hold your friends up so high. You expect them to do certain things. You expect them to be loyal to you. We hold our friends up too high. Too high. But what you got to do is treat people accordingly. When you understand how a person feel about you, when you acknowledge that this is how this person is, you can't even be mad at that person because you know. All you could do, hey, how you doing? I still love you. But I'm not going to interject myself. I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm not. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't have to force a friendship. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to force people to call you, text you. And the first thing people say is, I ain't talked to you in forever. Well, that kind of go both ways. You don't even, and if you know, when they amongst each other, you don't even call me no more. You don't text me. It goes both ways. So if you and I ain't talked to each other in 3 months, who's to say whose fault it is why we ain't talked? You ain't called me like I ain't called you. Hell, I might have been busy. You might have been busy. But you still read between the lines. So don't hold your friends up so high with high standards as to this is what they should do, this is what they shouldn't do, this is how you should roll. You can't tell a person what they should or shouldn't do, and you can't tell a person how they should roll, and you can't make a person like you like that. Know that. But that it'll stress you out. It'll take you on a whole nother level. So I don't let people stress me out like that no more. I used to. I'm talking about blow a gasket. Sure, one of my friends do something I don't like. I'm confronting them. I'm saying this, I'm saying that. I don't have the energy. I know where I stand. And that's how I roll. Doesn't mean I have hatred. Even with, my coworkers, my children. One thing, and I know I'm preaching to y'all because I said I was going to do that today, because it's all about self-help and wellness. It's all about taking care of you. And at the end of the day, if you don't take care of you, you don't have anything else. Once you lose yourself or lose you, man, I'm telling you, I used to be so sporadic with things. Like, I would say, I ain't going to call. Hell, before I know it, I done called the person 10 times. I'm talking about I'm mad. Ooh, I'm mad. Everybody talks on the phone. I got to tell them what happened. I'm just so mad, sporadic. Blood pressure 200/10. high on one, low on the other. You get what I'm saying? Because you done worked yourself all up. You didn't let people take you out of your element. I mean, so stressed, your bills so behind. You got to start paying your bills on time. You can't wait till you get on disconnect. And sometimes that's how we know. I'm telling y'all, it wasn't a bill that I ever paid on time once upon a time. I didn't touch that stuff until it was past due and I had no choice but to pay it. But that only left me paying a late fee, paying more, especially on rent. $95 a late fee plus so many dollars a day if you don't pay your rent on time. Push it to the level. Push it to the limit, should I say, is how we live sometimes. I need a pair of shoes. I'm going to pay this. I'm going to pay the light bill later. I'm going to pay that later. If you pay it first, get it out of the way, it's paid. And you know, it's so weird. Somebody will call me. I won't answer the phone. I ain't no number. I ain't answer the phone. Shit, y'all ain't finna get me. But what can they do to you on the phone? Bill collectors calling, you don't answer the phone. You don't know you got a bill till you hit your credit. Then boom, now your credit all jacked up. Now you can't get a loan if you needed to, which I don't really recommend it. But if you need a loan, get a loan. But now you can't get a loan because guess what? You ain't answer the phone for the bill collectors when they call because you scared to answer the phone. I was talking to my daughter yesterday. I said, you remember the times when renters used to come to your house? Ooh, boy, they hunt you down. They come to your house. They come to your job. They looking. I tell you, they looking. They park at the corner looking for you. You can be peeping out the window. Renter center down the street. You can pull a lot of work. Renter center following you to your house. Boy, they want that furniture. I was telling my daughter, I said, you remember the times we be in the house, they knock on the door. We say, don't nobody say nothing. Everybody be quiet. As if these folks can come to your house. We move from one room to the next room. Do you hear me? Y'all be quiet. Them people know we up in there. And we move from one room to the next room. Tell me, don't nobody say nothing. That was one of the good old days. I mean, it was rough. You know, growing up. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But that's a hood moment. That's a real moment. That's a moment that I think we've all encountered. Is when a bill collector knock on the door, or the people you on your buy here, pay here, knock on the door. Shoot, you ain't answering the door. You being quiet. Be quiet. They see you peeking out the window. You still tell them, go in the next room, y'all. Go in the next room. But those were the times. For a long time, those were the times. I'm telling you, my life did not really pan out until after 40. It seems like once I got 40, my life was like, okay, Shar, you need to get it together. And I remember talking to my youngest son, because at this time it was just he and I in the house together, and the rent on the condo was so high. And I was like, son, I can't do this. My credit was 0. I mean, maybe 500. I don't even know. Because again, at the time, it was a time that my life was in so much turmoil that I was going to every check cashing place that I could find. You know, and I'm not going to put it off on somebody else. I'm not going to do that because I'm my own person. I was with it. It was what it was. But we were in such a bad position that I was going to every every check cashier place it was, getting the payday loans. You get your payday, your paycheck, you got to pay the payday loan back, then borrow it back in order to have some money for the week. That was my life once upon a time. So I sitting in the room with my son, I said, son, I got to buy me a house. I'm never going to survive in Nashville renting. Ain't going to happen. My credit was horrible. Took it. I made a list. I said, I still didn't believe it though. It was still like, ain't nobody forgive me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I wrote it down. I said, okay, by the time I'm 42, I'm going to own my own house. Wrote it down. By the time I'm 41. 40 or 41, I don't really remember. I said, I'm going to own my own house. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I wrote it all down on paper. And I just started calling around to places. And you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, you're pre-approved for $300,000 and you ain't even making $12 an hour. But they won't tell you you're approved for $300,000. Don't be fooled, people. But anyway, so I started running into that. And then it's like something just clicked on me when I got 40. I'm like, sure, you got to start paying your bills. You cannot keep living like this. As soon as you get paid, you're paying off the payday loan, people, and then you're borrowing it back. It's just a cycle. It's a Ponzi scheme. 300% on interest. Unheard of. But this is what you signed up for, because guess what? You in a position that you ain't paid your bills. Some people can't. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people are in the positions that you've lived above your means plenty of times. And sometimes you're in a position that, hey, this is what it is. This is what I'm faced with. This is what I got to do. So trust and believe. I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm just simply telling you what I've been through, what I've witnessed. Once I got past 40, all that nonsense was out the window. Do you understand me? Not saying that the Lord won't smack me down and I have to go back to it. But it's going to be for a reason. It's going to be because I absolutely have to. Never paid bills on time. Never did any of that. So now when I get faced with a position or a situation that puts me in a position that my back's against the wall, I can't take it. My anxiety kicks in. You never want to go back to y'all. I'm telling y'all, when I'm telling y'all I was homeless, nowhere to go. Sitting with a U-Haul parked in McDonald's parking lot. All my stuff in the back of this U-Haul, right? Because of situations, bad choices, getting with bad people that don't really mean you no good, but in that moment you feel like this is ride or die, this is what it is, this is right. Parked at McDonald's about 6 hours, trying to decide, calling people back to back to back, going through Craigslist, going through the yellow pages, looking all over for somebody to rent us a house. We know where it was going to go. We didn't have no money. So at this time, you're calling people and you say, hey, if you let me move in, I'll fix the house up. You do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You do what you got to do. So when I speak, I'm speaking from experience to being homeless, nowhere to go, trying to figure out what are we going to do to get out this position. So now when my back's against the wall, my anxiety kicks in because I'm like, I never want to be in that position that I don't know where we're going to sleep, where we're going to lay our heads, how we're going to get our next dollar for gas. My anxiety is at an all-time high when I'm low. Understand? But it happens. But that's when I say over 40, things kicked in for me. And I said, Shar, you cannot succeed like this. And I think at the time I was acting. I was in the radio. But this is the thing about acting. You only get your check when you finish. Understand? So if you're on a project, you're going to get that check when the project is finished. If not, they're only going to pay you per hour. You may only work 3 hours a day on that movie scene or that project or whatever. So let's just say they paying you $75. Sounds great. You're getting $75 an hour. But you may only work 3-4 hours of production that day. So by the time you add it up, or you get the little check, you ain't really making nothing. So unless you're just like on a big motion picture and you're really, really, really working and you're on a series and they've paid you out for these many episodes, trust me, it's hard. It's a hard knock life. And that will cause you to cash that little check, try to go get a payday loan, get through, get by. But in hindsight, when the electric bill comes out, it's $120. You got $300. First thing people say is, I'm not paying all my money on that and be broke all week. But guess what? You're going to be in the dark, and then you're going to have to pay a reconnect fee. And then after that reconnect fee, you're going to have to borrow some money from somebody to help you pay it. And then when you get paid, you're going to have to pay them back, and you're still going to be broke. So I learned that, that it really benefits me to just pay this right now. I really don't want to pay it because I know I only get paid every 2 weeks. And I know that if I pay this mortgage out of this paycheck, I'm going to be flat broke for 2 weeks. And then you don't pay it, and then you're in a bad position. So you got to bite the bullet. You got to bite the bullet. As long as you got a roof over your head, some gas, some food, be broke. But you comfortable. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You may not be able to go out. You may not be able to kick it. You may not be able to go out to eat. You may not be able to get that Gucci, Chanel, all that stuff that you used to getting. You know what I'm saying? But your mortgage is paid. Your lights are on. So if you're in a position now and you feel like you just don't know what to do, how to get out of it. First, you got to have faith. Second, you need to look back at where you came from. And just know that you're going to do whatever it takes to not go back there. Because I'm pretty sure we've all been in some really, really bad situations in our lives. Really bad. It's okay if you gotta get help from somebody. That's all right. But don't let it be a to-do thing all the time. And we have to stop feeling like we have to do for people that may be in a position. Because I'm learning that as long as you give, that person is not going to get on their own. And we do that a lot. Think about it. Your health is everything. But if you're constantly on the go, you go to work for yourself, then you get off work, and then you're on the go doing for other people. You're never stopping. You're never resting. You're never this. You're never that. That's going to take a decline on you. That's going to take a toll on your health and your mental status. So stop feeling like you just gotta give and do. Hell, if I don't feel like going, I ain't going. Nope. I ain't gonna do it. I don't feel like it. But why? Because I'm tired and I just got off work and I don't feel like it. Well, let me hold $40. I ain't got it. Why you ain't got it? You just got back off the trip, I ain't got it. Just because I ain't got it, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm doing for me, but I'm doing for me, don't mean that I got to turn around and do for the next person. I ain't got it. If I got it, cool. But if I ain't got it, I ain't got it. And stop feeling guilty if you ain't got it. Stop feeling guilty, but do something for you. Do something for you. You know, I wish I could say right now that I was just in the state of mind that I have nothing going on. It is times to where it's so quiet or nothing's going on, and it feels weird because my life is always do. You know what I'm saying? It's always something going on. Always. But when it's quiet, it kind of feels unnormal. But I need, and this is me talking to me, is get in the normal. That things will be normal. And stop letting doubt sink in that, sure, this is too normal for you. Things are usually jacked up for you. This won't last. This is temporary. Things is something bad that's going to happen. I got to stop doing that. And if you are that type of person that does that, you got to stop doing that. But one thing you cannot do is if you are in a position that everything always goes good, you shouldn't do that either. Because you need to be humble first and foremost. Second of all, anything can happen. Anything. So everything is such a gray area in life. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You may be the type of person that has it all. You may be the type of person that just got a big bank account, but I guarantee you, more money, more problems. So you really got to be humble. You really got to be smart. You got to be cautious. It's such a gray area with life. But one thing we got to know, I said everything happens for a reason. There is no good thing without you really working for it. Some people get miracles, overnight successes, all that type of stuff. But best believe you're not going to appreciate it unless you've actually worked for it, put in the work for it, and willing to continue to do the work. You have to be willing to continue to do the work. And some days, I don't even want to go to work at my regular job. But guess what I got to do? I got to get up, put on a shirt, if nothing else. I'm joking. Put on some clothes, and I got to work. Even if I'm in the situation to where I just had the worst night of my life, I got to work. Because I've been depressed. I've been so deep down depressed before that I didn't even know me. And I never want to go back there. I never want to experience just sitting and crying and afraid to watch certain things on TV because of what I may have been through. You know? And your mental status is everything. It's everything. And it's so easy to fall into that dark place because that's the go-to thing. That's the first thing to do. That's what we know. That's all we know. You ever watch Good Times or those old sitcoms, some of the new sitcoms? And I have stopped watching a couple of shows due to the fact that every time a person is doing good, and I say a person of color is doing good, they create a damn bad situation for them. Why can't we have good memories, good moments, good times? You know what I'm saying? It's so etched in our minds, like I said earlier, that, hey, Shar, this is temporary. Something bad's going to happen. That's because what's planted in our heads. So it's been a couple of shows that I've stopped watching because I'm like, come on, man. Every time you see a brother doing good, you got to knock him back down. You got to knock them back down. And you want people to think that. And that's not always the case. So just think. What have I done that I can do different? I live to be the best person that I can be. And I know I'm not perfect. I'm not the best person I can be. But I live to wake up each day hoping to be better than I was yesterday. Hoping, even if it's just, talking to people, speaking life into people. You never know what people may be going through. And even if I'm having a bad day, I run across people that's having a worse day than me. And even with me on my bad day, I'm pouring life into that person. And I'm just like, yo, it's going to be okay. It breaks my heart. I want to cry with them and I want to cry. And sometimes I do get off because I'm a baby. But you got to let people know that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. God didn't bring you this far to let you fall by the wayside. But you also got to put in some work. You got to put in the work. And if you're in a position and you just can't figure out why, it starts with yourself. You got to sit down and ask yourself, what can I do different? There is a way. And it may cost you some work, may cost a couple broke fingernails, may cost you to go a couple weeks with no fingernails, with no weave. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's going to cost some sacrifice. It takes sacrifice. But one thing you got to know is if your mind isn't healthy, you're not going to figure it out. So you got to keep that mind strong and that mind healthy. And I just want to say, you got to spend some time with you. Nothing is wrong with you being alone. If you can't be alone, then that's a problem. I know some people that don't like to be alone. I used to be one of those people. I always got to be around people. If my kids would leave, I would get up and leave. I just felt like I can't be alone because my depression would sink in, the doubt would sink in. But if you can't be alone, then you need to start taking time being alone with yourself. No TV, no cell phone, no nothing. And picking you apart. And I say this all the time because only you know the real you. Sometimes we don't want to admit it. We don't want to admit some of the things that we have done wrong. But only you know you. A person can speculate. A person can say, I know you like the back of my hand. Only you know you. Only you can spend time with you and figure it out and ask yourself, why am I still in this situation with this person? Change. People are afraid of change. That's just like I talked about the travel. You get some people don't want to leave out their neighborhoods. Ain't never been out of their city because they're afraid of change. Why am I with this person that makes me feel like crap? I'm doing everything. I'm not feeling good about the situation, but I don't want change because I know this person. I've been with this person 5 years. At least I know what they're capable of doing. I had my grandmother tell me that, rest her soul. I remember the first time I went to her, I hid at her house. The first time I came out that I was in an abuse relationship. And I was at her house and he just kept calling. I was like, I ain't here. Tell him I'm not here. And she did that. But she also told me, you need to go home because at least you know what he's capable of doing. You may get with somebody else and they may kill you, do all this stuff, and you don't know. But in my mind, I'm like, well, hell, he whooping me down. What more can he do? And see what I'm saying? At least you know this person. At least you know what they're capable of. So you need to go home. Now, she didn't put me out. But, this is giving me some of that old woman speech. You know what I'm saying? You know what you know him. You know what he's capable of. You get with somebody else, and then they do you worse. But that's kind of like saying, yeah, go home, take them beat downs. You'd rather be beat down than dead. Crazy. But ask yourself, why have I been with this person so long? Why am I so comfortable with being in this bad situation? Jobs you may be at. Why haven't I started looking for a new job yet? Why haven't I retired? Why am I still here? Because I'm afraid of starting something new. What if that job does? Okay, then move on with the next one. I can guarantee you, with people in jobs, when they're ready to move on from you, they're going to move on. You think they're going to think about, oh, well, what if this other place do this? And what if this other woman treat me like that? Hell no. They out. When they get tired of you and they're ready to go, they're going. Regardless of what they put you through, regardless of what you did for them, regardless of how you held them down, regardless of all that. When they get ready to go, they're going with the jobs. When they get ready to let you go, they letting you go. They don't care that you build your lifestyle around there. They ain't tripping. If they hire somebody new and that don't work, they go through a temp service. You see what I'm saying? So why are we putting ourselves in positions that we're still stuck? Afraid of change. Afraid to let go. Afraid to do something different. It's fear. But that's you sitting down with you. Loving on you. Admiring you. Laughing at some stuff that you know, because I sure crack myself up. But I also kick myself in the butt. But I also say, Shar, if it hadn't been for you going through what you've been through, you would not be the caliber of the woman that you are today. And I am one hell of a woman, if I might say. But I had to get there the hard way. I had to go through the fire. I had to learn things. And I'm still learning. I don't know everything. But I'm much stronger than I was then. When I get in situations now, I think about it before I react. I do. I'm learning to love people from a distance. I'm learning to push through. I'm learning to love myself enough to not let people make me feel guilty for things that I know myself that I haven't done anything wrong. I'm learning a lot about myself, but that comes with I'm here by myself a lot. And that comes from me. And people are like, if you talk to yourself, you crazy. Hell, I talk to myself all the time. So I might be crazy, but I talk to myself all the time. Now, I'm not going to know if I answer back. I might answer back too, but I'm just being real. I'm learning me. and I'm learning me, and I love me. I love the woman that I am. I love that I can be here by myself and watch my favorite shows and talk to the TV and say all kind of crazy stuff and laugh about it. I love that about myself. I do, but it's also sometimes where I don't know where I'm coming and going. I'm working on that. I'm learning. And that's why I'm speaking to you all today, that if you're in a situation, you don't know how you're going to get out, you don't know which way you're going to turn, there are resources. There are resources. But in the hindsight of things, and I've said that word a lot today, and I don't think I've ever used it on the show, but anyway, you have to sit down. Don't be so erratic. Don't overreact. And figure it out. If that means getting help, get help. If that means getting along, get along. But be responsible. That's all I'm saying. But love you. Learn you. Admit your wrongs. Admit the things that you may have done wrong. Love yourself enough to be willing to learn who you are. A lot of times we don't even know who we are. A lot of times we're afraid to be who we really are because people have placed such high standards on us. A lot of times we go out of our way to do things for people, and you really don't want to. Love you. Don't let people take you from you. Don't let you take you from you. You know, I'm so serious. If you know a person that's in a situation that may be harmful to them, you don't want to pry. You never want to tell a person, oh, girl, you need to do this, you need to do that. Sometimes you need to listen, but also be there for them. And don't put, if someone is talking to you about them and what they may be going through, don't interject yourself in that. Be a listening ear. You know what you got going on. Now, it's okay if y'all having a conversation and both of y'all talking and, he may be like, dude, I'm doing some that. Someone's be like, yeah, dude, me too. I can't even do this. I can't even do that. It's okay sometimes. But sometimes people just want to let you know what they're going through. They want your advice. If they don't even want your advice, they just want to vent to you. So sometimes just be a listening ear. But if a person is in a situation, a dangerous situation, provide them the resources. Be there for your people. The last thing I want to say to my mothers, our children are our weakness. They're our weak spots. We go out of our way. We bend over backwards. Once they get a certain age, it is not your responsibility to jump when they call. It's not your responsibility to bail them out of certain situations. As a parent and mother, we do. But you have to let them be adults. And think about it like this. What if you weren't here? What if you weren't in town? What if you weren't available? What if you didn't have? What would they do then? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with helping your children out. Okay, they got a job. You need some gas money to get to work. You've been working all week. You done paid all your money on your bills. You may need a couple bucks to float you through. That's fine. Yep, I got you. But you're not working. You're not trying to work. You ain't paid me back. I'm not going to be at your beck and call because you're not going to appreciate it when I do help you. That's all I'm saying, mothers. Think about that sometimes. You can't just spoil them. Once they become adults, they're doing their own thing. You got to let them be adults. Nothing's wrong with helping. But stop going out of your way. And then it causes you to be in a bind or a situation. Nobody's going to be there to help you get out. All right? Y'all, that is my time. I hope you all have enjoyed the show. And this was just more of a motivation based. But I want you all to be healthy. I want you all to dig deep from the soul out. Manifest every day. Speak life into your situation. If you're in a bad situation or you just don't know how that situation is going to go, soon as you open your beautiful eyes, I want you to manifest today is going to be a great day. Today is going to be a great day. Lord, I speak life into my day. Lord, I speak life into my morning. When you smile, a smile changes your whole everything. Y'all, that is real. Everything. But manifest things. Manifest that job. Manifest that business. Manifest that money. Manifest the things that you want. And this is a daily manifestation. Not just every now and then. This is you speaking life into your situation. You want a new job. You want a new man. You want a new wife. You want a new car. You want a business. Manifest it. Speak it. Believe it. Have faith in it. The faith starts with you first. And it's not always going to be happy-go-lucky. And you're not always going to believe in yourself. But even if you don't feel like you believe it today, when you get up, you manifest that. Lord, I am manifesting a healthy life. In my old age, Lord, I'm manifesting wealth. I'm manifesting this new car. I'm manifesting these people ain't going to stress me out today. I'm serious. I'm going to keep a positive mindset moving forward throughout the day. And even if you don't, you still have spoken. You manifest. You brought it into your day. So that is all I want to say. And I hope you all have a good night. I look forward to seeing y'all. I did go live the other day on Instagram, but only for just a short time. Hey, make sure you follow me on Instagram too. Beautifully beautiful. On Facebook, Shar Taniska, Shar PV. And make sure that you're following me. Talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if it's something I need to correct. If y'all think I'm doing too much, if you think I'm doing too little, hey, let me know. Let me know. Real quick, my drink of the hour. I did not go with a wine. Sometimes I don't go with wine. But my drink, I found a white rum. And it's Selva Ray. I hope I'm saying it right. But it's actually pretty good. You don't need a lot at all. I mixed it with a margarita pack. See, I'm trying to be creative. And, I'm not drinking a lot because y'all know your girl is on her weight loss thing. But that is what I'm drinking tonight. So whatever you guys are winding down to, drop it in my inbox and let me know. For real, y'all, this time. I know I said I was gone like 3 times, but I'm out this time. One life, one love. It's your girl, Shar, the Super Chick. And you guys have just tuned in to the evening wind down.